Um, Not right now, as we're going straight into draft. We're not really going to let anyone wait. We're just going to go into draft, and then we could just talk over the draft.
Okay,
Imperium said he was going to cast Walking Home, but he shall be here for the next game.
okay, perfect. So we're going to handle the first one. We have a first ban, which might be Churnwalker. Churnwalker, very strong hero at the moment in 3-3 and 5v5. His chains can just spread the damage and increase the healing from the team. It's going to be the first ban, which is definitely not unexpected from the Vayne Union team, because, as I said, very strong pick, always a priority to pick. And if you're not willing to pick him, because I think they don't really feel comfortable with Churnwalker, they're just going to ban it. Against the Anka ban, which is another very, very common ban, because considering the strength of Anka, how sneaky she is, and how like fast she can run in and run out of the fight and just delete one single carry, it's such an important hero to ban or to pick. And considering they're red side or B side, they can first pick her. So very smart thing to do is to ban her. We have a Lorelei ban, which is another great hero. Lorelei in 3v3 especially, but 5v5 too. It's such a strong hero. Her slows, like the slows she provides, the stuns she provides, and especially the ultimate, which is a big barrier for a single target, are so important in a fight. Like considering the more people there are in 5v5, so the more the slow is important. And if you can land multiple stuns with a single fish food, it's very strong of a hero. Reza, normal ban, not much to say about him. Stealthy assassin like Anka, very important to take down or to pick. Arden, great top laner. I think they're going to play him as a top laner because at the moment, in my opinion, not only my opinion, I think it's the strongest top laner available, followed by the Catherine and or Flicker, which is going to be picked by the Nightmares Guild, the Nightmares team. So very strong draft from both teams at the moment. The first two picks are strong picks. Nobody went crazy. Nobody decided to troll or do anything particular. Gramjo, another great pick. His combo with the teleport boots and can just throw off completely a team or a player, which is going to straight up die in his base, which is not the best feeling you could have. Followed by maybe a Finn on Vayne Union's side, which is a great counter to Churnwalker, not to Churnwalker, to Grumjo, as he can't be eaten. So, like, of course, very strong front line, and if he stands in front of his carries, the Grumjo cannot eat him, so he cannot eat the carries either, which is like the meta right now is focusing on the captains, which I don't mean only the captain role, but also the top and jungle role, which is pretty much all tanks and captains. And from what we've seen, which
Okay, so
unfortunately
what happened there then?
somebody didn't log in the right time, so unfortunately we are going to have to start everything again. But from what we have now, we can just already see how the EU meta is at the moment, which is pretty much focusing on how much protection you can provide to your team. Like, the more protection, the more your carries are going to survive, and so automatically the more damage they're going to deal. It's not about very fast team fights, it's more about elongated team fights, like who are based on Dragon's Eye, Breaking Point, Survivability, which is, for example, the blue buff for CP carries, and the Serpent's Mask, either Serpent's Mask or Poison Ship for the weapon carries. So very strange meta, I would say, which is going on for a few patches already. But it's a strange meta, but it's actually an interesting meta because you have to be coordinated. You can't just split and have the 2 or 3 captains go one way and the carries another way, because every single person depends on the other person. Like, it's not something you can just pull off alone. If you're a squishy carry, you have to have your captains with you to just sustain, to help you survive. And if you're if you're a roam, you don't have the damage necessary to take down the enemy carries. So you have to stick together. And we have a little change in the draft, which it seemed to be a Malin first time, but apparently it was an Idris pick. Idris, very strange hero to play. You can either choose to go hybrid, CP, or weapon, followed by a Gwen. Gwen, very strong bot laner, very high damage, pretty nice mobility too, considering her skedaddle is like a reflex block. And her ultimate, of course, being a stun. It's very important during team fights. Lyra is a great captain, so I think we have already figured out the red draft, which is pretty much Lyra roam. I don't want to. We might see a Lyra CP lane it's not said yet. So it's interesting.
Would
We also
be
have
it
a
would be
Tony.
interesting to see a Lyra CP lane actually. She's been pretty popular in ranked at least. I've seen a few Lyra CP lanes or even Lyra top.
Well, I unfortunately haven't seen that many Lyra tops, but Lyra CP Lane definitely a great peak, great range once upgrading your ultimate, great range on your A, so you can just outpoke other heroes. And if built correctly, which is for example a Spellfire, Dragon's Eye, or Broken Myth, or whatever else CP item you want to buy want to build on Lyra, it can just outscale other carries, and on the late game just do some damage you're not expecting to receive. But unfortunately, we're not going to see a Lyra CP at the moment. We're going to see a Scarf mid for red side, a Lyra mid, a Lyra roam, a Catherine top, Gwen bot, and Gramcho in jungle. We are going to have an Idris mid, apparently, because from what we see, it should be a Baron bot lane. Idris mid, Tony jungle, top Arden, um, and a Finn roam. So it's about to get in the match. And what draft do you prefer at the moment? Like does what makes you think one draft is better than the other, if you think so?
I don't know. Usually I would possibly go for like the Catherine and stuff like that. But they picked up the Finn Roam, which is immune to a lot of things. I mean, stuns and stuff still will silence him. But Grumjaw can't eat him, and Grumpjaws usually typically go for like the roam or something like that. They try to eat the roam, but this time they can't really eat the Finn. So I'm liking the Finn pick. I'm not sure which draft I like overall, but we'll see who wins.
Okay, so the thing that I think we have to take into consideration is how the two drafts are going to scale. Considering we have a Weapon Baron, we have a CP Idris, we have a Finn, we have a Arden. Arden scales pretty early in the game, but the other 3 years are heroes that need to farm and need to get to the late game. We're not going to see a level 1 CP Idris do anything because he hasn't unlocked the CP path yet, so he's not going to be able to do anything. And the Baron, of course, as everybody knows, not the strongest level 1, level 2, level 3 hero. He needs to scale, he needs to upgrade his range, and he needs to get the damage that he has like as a necessity. Scarf is good early game, good mid game, and crazily strong late game. So if the Scarf can play the early mid stages of the game pretty aggressively, he might be able to snowball Rikudu, who can't just outstand the damage that Scarf is going to be able to deal. We are already seeing the first rotation to the CP buff. We have the blue team going to the red CP buff and the red team going to the blue CP buff, nothing special. But Arden, the real pancake, is trying to steal the red buff, but sees the two camps put there in order to prevent him from stealing everything. So great move from the red team to prevent Arden from stealing the red jungle by putting new vision there so they know he was going to do it. And as soon as he realized they were they were aware of the fact that he was going there, he just decided not to go because otherwise he would have been collapsed on by the red team. So
I don't know about that. I mean, look at them. They're still taking the CP buff. They're still taking the blue side jungle. He could have at least tried to go for something, but instead he wasted time just running around the map, so he didn't get anything at all.
that's true, but I think like his thought process was, I might be able to get the red buff, but I'm pretty much going to die because if they see me trying to get the red buff, they are going
Mhm.
to collapse on me. They just saw him there, they just saw him that he decided not to commit on that, and so they kept taking the blue jungle. But had he like started taking something which is gold oak or red buff, I think they would have collapsed all onto him, and so he would have died, maybe not even taking the red buff, which is like 100 gold, and then the red buff goes to whoever kills the person with the red buff. So not even a crazy win because they wouldn't have like prevented the red team from having their red buff. So nice move from Arden. Unfortunately, he couldn't get anything out of it, but still didn't lose anything and just tried to do something aggressive, which is, as we said, pretty hard considering the blue team at the moment, which is heavy scaling team. Gwen, in other like considering Gwen how strong she is early game, Scarf pretty decent. The poke from Lyra, very strong poke. It's going to be very hard for Rikudu at the moment. And as we can see, he's just farming in the turret range. But since the changes the turrets had, it's way harder to farm because it's not like it used to be, where once a minion is hit by a turret shot, it's like the health changes, like how hard you hit him changes, Now it doesn't like make any difference if the turret attacks the minion or not. So it's not like that easy to farm as it was. You still need to get the used to the new changes, but it's been pretty hard. Like farming has been way harder. At the moment, the pressure is not being really applied in bot. We have Baron and Tony against Catherine. We might see a first blood, but apparently they don't really want to commit. We have the blue team about to get the red blue buff, like the red side blue buff, and the red team is going to get the blue side blue buff, which is just normal things you do at 3-4 minutes in the game. And I don't know if Ramcho is going to go for a weapon like path, but from what he bought, I think he's going straight for the pulse wave. But in the end, Baron and Tony managed to take down the Catherine, so we have the first blood going over to Vayne Union. Strange thing, to be honest, because I wasn't expecting a Baron to take down the Catherine so early in the game, considering how she can handle like the damage with her B. But apparently, very well played by the two bot
Yeah,
laner
but
and
an early Catherine is a squishy Catherine. An early Catherine is a squishy Catherine. She has no defense really, so she's quite squishy. She's easy to take down early game. I wouldn't be scared of an early Catherine, to be honest.
that's also true, very, very true. The only thing I was maybe thinking, I'm not the top laner, so I can myself say it, but probably against the Baron, still a Book of Eulogies might be useful as a melee carry. Maybe not, I don't know. I probably would pick it up, but I'm not the top laner, as I said, so I'm not really the best person to say that. But considering how it went, maybe a Book of Eulogies might have saved her, but I'm not really sure because of how good they played. Like they managed to proxy farm and take her from behind her turret. So it was a very, very nice move from the two of them, considering the CC Tony can provide. It's just very well played from Vayne Union's team. We have the real Pancake standing pretty nicely against the Gwen. He started already with a tier 1 defense and already with the life spring, which makes him recover the health that he loses from the poke of Gwen. Ramjo is just chilling in the top rush. We have a rotation from the mid and roam to the shop just to pick up some items. Nothing crazy going to happen. Gwen has level 6, so as soon as Gramcho hits level 6, which is going to be, I'm assuming, pretty soon, they might start trying to combo the two things. Pancake almost stole the healing treant, but didn't manage to do it. And Ricodo is just going crazy with this CP Idris. He just unlocked the CP path, and he decided why not just take down the roam. We have Gwen coming up, great stun, but didn't land on the Idris, landed onto Finn, so didn't make too big of a difference. Real Pancake came up, but there's also the Scarf, great taunt by Saranic. Not going to happen though. The kill maybe. Great reflex lock from the Fen, but goes down. First kill for the red team. Finally, maybe starting to see something rising in their heads. Maybe they're going to take the blue buff, and the blue team is going to take the CB buff. Unfortunately, the red team couldn't really capitalize on what they got, but maybe Sasuke is going to try to steal the CP buff. Tries, but doesn't make it. So great start from the blue team, but already the red team trying to make sure they don't lose too much. Already winning the first, we can say team fight, because that was the first team fight. The others were just pick up kills, which are, of course, very good to get, but not really team fights. So we have already seen a great team play from the red team. Unfortunately, the blue team couldn't take the first team fight kill, but it's all good. They still have pretty much the same amount of gold, so no big deal. We still have Baron trying to take down Catherine, but Catherine with the Blast Tremor almost takes down the Baron, which is immediately helped by the Tony with the Healing Treant. Taking the red buff, the red team, and the blue team is about to take their own jungle. So at the moment, nothing crazy is going on. Do you have any particular thought you want to share at the moment where we have a little bit of calm in between fights?
I I always like I'm echoing. I don't even know if I can add anything since I'm echoing. Why am I echoing? Deo,
Okay,
can you mute, please?
If I mute, I won't be able to get in game.
I'll
so
mute
at the
you.
moment we have a team fight already. Rikudu taking down the kill, but the return kill from Scarf is taken. It was a great shimmer strike from Rikudu, but couldn't really position exactly perfectly as he took a shot from the turret. And Sasuke immediately using the Bright Bulwark prevent him to escaping. He just got the kill and the return kill, which is pretty much all good. Already the gold 400, 300 gold advantage for the red team, no big deal. Down the lane, we have Baron already chunking the bot turret pretty hard. We have already more than half health. Down but 4 members of the red team from the Nightmares are trying to take down the bot turret for the blue team. Not sure if anything's gonna happen as it's 3 versus 3. Gramchi is taking down the scout cam, already down. Arden is eaten. We have Arden just chilling in the stomach of Gramcho. And Gwen already taking 2 hits from Baron and 1 hit from the turret. Finn tanking everything but not making any difference. Blast Tremor blocked, Finn dead, but Gwen is dead too. Great delicious. Arden, great gauntlet taking Scarf away from the fight. Baron is trying to splash damage as much as he can. He jumps in, but maybe not the best choice. Apparently it was. Scarf tries to Dragon Breath, but doesn't make any difference in the fight, unfortunately. Baron jumping front again into 3 enemies. Very, very brave Baron considering the low health he has. Great taunt to prevent Tony from dying. And nothing crazy is going to happen here, I think. Lincoln Bees can maybe turn around, but he doesn't have too much energy. He turns around on the Tony, but he has the shield, and now he has to run away once again. It's pretty back and forth thing, while Ricardo is trying to take the red jungle. So very sneaky play from him. Nobody expects him to be there, as all the focus has been on the bottom lane for the blue team. Ooh, great team fight. Apparently the blue team decided to stop losing in team fights and started winning. Great job from them. And they
How many
prevented.
team fights have we had? But also, what I noticed is that, like, the Finn, I know Finn is tanky and he's meant to be tanking everything, but there is such a thing as over tanking, which means he typically ends up dying. I would like to see the Finn not over tank so much.
Unfortunately, the Finn couldn't get the forced accord onto the scarf. Great attempt, but couldn't make it. Yeah, you were perfectly right. Like, Finn is very, very tanky, but considering we're not in Blitz, he doesn't have the legendary time, so he's going to die
Right.
sooner or later. So he has to be way, way more careful. We have on top lane, though, the first turret of the game going down for the red team, taking down the first blue top turret. Great job, the two of them, very early aggressive, went strong as hell early game. Gramcho very, very helpful with the slows and the eating capability he has. We have maybe a group, they trying to group up close to Ghostwing. They already put down the scout traps, the scout camps, not scout traps, unfortunately, to take care of the vision for the Ghostwing, which has just spawned. Not actually spawned 4 minutes ago, but apparently they haven't like taken care of the Ghostwing too much. They preferred to take down the turrets. Great damage from Ricardo. What does Ricardo have as a build? Already Dragon's Eye and all many crystal bits. So he has unlocked the crystal path and his damage is pretty nice. Mid Gwen have to recall. So Ricardo with the weapon buff too is going to try to do as much as he can. Now somehow the bot turret got destroyed. I don't know how it really happened. I'm sorry, I missed it completely. Apparently Scarf took it down. Now it's a 4v5 because Gwen is coming 5v5, about to break into a team fight probably. Jumps in the Gramjo but goes immediately back. Taunt from the Tony. One ultimate from Baron doesn't really work. Great eaten by Gramcho, which takes down the Baron, but Baron manages to run away. Finn already low on health. Dragon's Breath from Scarf, but he has to run away. He can't completely do as much damage as he wants. The Delicious, incredible name, tries to take down the Gramcho, but doesn't make it, and so he has to go back to base the fast way, which is by death. And now we only have 3 members down for the blue team and 5 members up for the red team, which is an easy ghosting for them. I don't think we're going to see any crazy steal from either Ricardo or Sirenic because they don't really want to die and would be a very bad decision to try to steal it if they weren't able to do it. Great ghosting play. Now it's a contesting about the red buff. Gwen managed to take it down with a beautiful Aces High, stunning the Tony. Gramcho trying to go in but doesn't really want to go too much, and apparently great start from the red team. The blue team had started great. Now the red team decided to show off what they really can do, and they got the lead. Still, goal lead is about 1k, not one and some k, so not really that big of a lead. But the turret lead is already huge, considering 2 turrets down from bot to top lane for the red team. They already took down 2 turrets for the blue team. So great start from the red team. Team play is on point. They always 5 versus 5, always together. Great team play, great communication. We already have the 2 members of the red team going on their jungle, taking their red buff, while
And
the blue team is just trying to survive.
Great objective focus. I mean, when the blue team, when UNX lost their top turret, the jungler Serenic was at the top with Arden probably trying to get ambient gold, whereas he probably should have been helping Baron in the bottom lane to try and at least push our bottom turret.
For sure. Unfortunately, they couldn't stick together at the moment, and so they had to lose the first turret, and unfortunately the fight too. So now we have to see already the 5 men of the red team are together, while the 5 members of blue team are not yet together, but they are grouping up, starting to grow up. The village is doing huge damage already, but Force the Code gets blocked. Silence doesn't get blocked. Finn already half health. Rico already half health. About to get down Finn when already doing so much damage. Gramjo has already eaten somebody, I don't know who. Tony is eaten, but he goes back with the Bada Boom into the gauntlet. Great move, they couldn't follow up. Fountain already used from red team and from blue team. Blue team doesn't even have Fountain. All the members of the blue team are pretty much low health. Ward threats popped. I think there was a little bit of a miscommunication. They wanted to go in, but couldn't really. Double taunt, double quibble, great stun. Comes the Dragon Breath. They have to run away, but Dragon Breath doesn't really connect. Ricardo goes down. Great Dragon's Breath and great communication for the red team. They decided to all go in, and I'm pretty sure they're going to take the Black Lore at the moment. They are 4v5, 5v4 considering their point of view, and they all have full health. Yeah, pretty much. We can say they're full health. And the others are just too scared, and understandably scared, to contest, because it's been pretty dominant for the red team at the moment. So considering how they have played since like the beginning, they were very, very strong, as you said, considering the objective focus. And at the moment, already all 5 members straight up to the Ghost Wing. Now they decided to split. Great decision. We have the Scarf in the mid lane with 2 roams, while Gwen and Gramcho might be thinking of taking down the top turret, but apparently not. Great fight starting out. Baron doing already a lot of damage. Real big bad bump has to go back, but Finn already taking too much damage to stand. Quibble takes down Great Badaboom, flows everybody away and kills the Scarf. Great out positioning for the Badaboom. Rikodo going on to Gwen. Gwen takes down Rikodo. Incredibly played. Very great starter stepping. Takes down also the Baron. Was incredible how she survived. Now Finn is already mispositioned once again. Unfortunately, he can't tank everything. Great portal from Sasuke, followed by 3 members. Sasuke is almost dead. The turret, unfortunately, for the blue team didn't focus him for the last time. And we have a pretty much low health Black Low and low health members of the red team who accomplished a lot, though, in this fight. How do you see this match going? How can the blue team just come back with this very dominant performance of the red team?
I have no idea how they can get back into this fight, to be honest. The red team are so good, like they focus objective so good. They take the turrets, like they don't mess around. They've just pushed with Black Claw and then they move straight on to taking Ghost Wing. So they're very, very focused objective wise and also hero wise as well. They seem to be picking off the red team, the blue team quite easily. Blue team UNX.
They really know what's up. They are very, very good at communicating with each other. They are very good at team fighting. And at the moment, the player I really want to watch is the player I can't pronounce the name, which is Aethem, I think. Aethem98, who just
them.
the Gwen player, just to make sure everybody understands, who just pretty much low with 0 health managed to kill Rikadu and Baron. Like very aggressive, pretty much like with the help of the team, he knows he has the damage. If the team can help him survive, they can easily win. And that's what a good team does. That's how a 3 roam, 2 carries composition works. You just try to defend your carries, you just prevent them from dying, and they do all the damage. And we have seen that the red team, the Nightmares, know exactly how to do. And at the moment, considering how the blue team, the Bane Union, is playing, they are playing in a nightmare at the moment, because the red team is just demolishing them as soon as they see them. At the moment, I think they're waiting for Blacklow. I don't know why, though, because it doesn't look like he's going to spawn anytime soon. So they might decide to go top lane or mid lane, which are the 2 lanes closer to them. They decide to go all top lane. Let's see if there's going to be a response for the blue team, who apparently seems a little bit split up, but they are all trying to converge onto the mid lane, onto the top lane, sorry. The minions are coming. Scarf already taken down a few Spitfires and a few Goops just to make sure the field is ready for a battle. If so, it's going to happen. Apparently, no, they just go back, maybe infuse, maybe just build the last items they think they need. And the blue team is just waiting. Like, blue team is waiting for the right opportunity because they know they can't just go all in as they are lower in gold. Now the gold difference is like 5k, which is not that big, but not that small either. So they know they can't just pick a fight and go in all in. They have to pick one player maybe who's out of position, or maybe two players and just collapse onto them and get the kill. They can't just go 5v5 at the moment. We have seen how dominant the red team, the Nightmares, are in a 5 versus 5 fight. But we have the real Pancake and Serenic maybe trying to push the top lane. I don't know if they really want to take the turret or just distract the red team from taking the Black Low, which is about to spawn Black Low on the field. So a fight is going to break out sooner or later now, because either the red team takes the Black Low uncontested, which I don't really think is going to happen, or just the blue team contests the attempt of taking Black Low of the red team. So I'm pretty sure this like moment of just thoughts that the two teams are having at the moment is going to stop pretty soon. They're going to infuse, they're going to get their buffs, and they're going to be
What
ready
is this
for a team
farming
fight.
simulation? They're just running around the map farming together. But I
Yeah.
like how all the teams are moving together. That's pretty good. Another thing I wanted to point out. Okay, so we have the red team are quite separated, but blue team does not know this. UNX does not know that they're separated. I thought we were going to see some action there, but no action as of yet.
No, unfortunately, at the moment, they just stood there, they looked at each other, and were like, nah, I'm not ready yet. So now they moved to Ghost Wing, they decided to change their focus. But the thing is that the more they wait, the more Baron is going to scale. Great Force Accord takes two people, and Big Bad Vamp is already dead. Unbelievable fight from the blue team. That's exactly what they have to do. They go down with the Bright Bulwark. Rikadu is doing damage from the back line. Great Bada Boom from Tony, almost taking down the Gwen, taking down in the end. The poor Gwen. Yay to and is running away. Gramajo ran away, and Sasuke managed to teleport away. But this is a great turnaround. Rikado is already chasing the poor Catherine, but I think they're all going to collapse onto the Black Low. Great fight picked up by the blue team. Exactly what they had to do. Focus down one person, take it down, and win the fight. Rikado is going to try and take down Yetuan, but he doesn't know that
Please
the
do
Lincoln
not
Beast is
chase that.
next to him. Great Shimmer Strike. Maybe not going to follow. Still going to try. Probably just to take the Black Low safely, so he didn't want anybody close to Black Low. I don't know, maybe a good idea. He could have died, and he had to waste 46 seconds of Shimmer Strike, which is pretty bad to have in the next team fight, which is going to break out as soon as Black Low reaches the first turret of the mid lane. Already one taken down. Sasuke apparently AFK.
AFK.
Very
Ah, don't kill,
unfortunate.
don't kill, don't kill the AFK.
They decided
So
not to
they're
kill him. Sasuke,
ignoring, they're
unfortunately.
ignoring. This is really unfortunate. I really hate when there are AFKs and stuff like this. It's
Let's
that's
just hope it's not going
sad.
to matter at the moment. Maybe he just comes back in 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then it's going to be back. Fountain use from the blue team already. Very, very bad situation to be in, considering they are 5 versus 4. So as soon as Sasuke comes back, and Sasuke is back already recalling to base, making sure he is going to be helpful for the defense against the Black Low. Blue team already going to try and take the Ghost Wing, but I think red team knows it. Like, they just did the same thing like 5 minutes ago, so they might know that they're taking ghosting and might want to contest. Not too sure. Still 4k gold advantage for the red team, so they might be able to take down. But Rikadu at the moment is doing so much damage. Baron too, great damage already, having the Starblade breaking point and tornado, the Tyrant's Monocle.
Okay, what was
Unfortunate
that
silence from
silence?
Ye2N is running away, already used his bubble, so he can't deflect the damage, but he has it already once again. Great Force Accord taking him down, but Sasuke is here to help him. Bright Bulwark. Quibble takes the stun onto the Catherine, but manages to take the portal and run away. Lincoln Bees is trying to run away, and he makes it. The Vein Crystal does so much damage now after the update, so they might not decide to chase down onto the Vein Crystal. They decide to go back to the red jungle and probably set up for the next fight. They had a great comeback. The blue team is now like pretty much dominant. They have the momentum. What do you think now it's going to happen? Because both teams are pretty much to the late game stage and they are all ready to fight. What's going to happen?
What's going to happen? Well, we're going to wait for another team fight. If UNX can take this last fight, they could actually finish the game. But if red team take the next fight, they could also finish the game if they have a really good push. But I suppose they're just all going to wait for Black Claw to come back up, maybe fight around that and try to take it.
Well, it's probably what's going to happen, but if I was the blue team, I would be very, very happy with this. But if I was the red team, to be honest, the more the Baron farms and the Idris farms, the more the damage they're going to deal. And Finn already, look at the amount of health Finn has. He's pretty much unkillable at the moment. Already on the front line, already proc the pull sweep though, so pretty unfortunate thing. Don't really want to proc the pull sweep just because he randomly. And
yeah, I don't think I would try to push into the base like that. I would do what they did the first time and try and set up an ambush or something and try and catch someone out. That's possibly going to be their best bet, UNX's best bet.
yeah, for sure. You don't really want to push in Event Crystal with 3 armors up, the both the top and bot turret alive. You don't really want to try and take a fight where the enemy team is at the strongest, especially if you don't have that big of an advantage, because gold-wise, they don't even have an advantage. Kill-wise, they don't have an advantage. They have an advantage in momentum and how they have been playing the last fights. So they have the advantage, like the mental advantage. They don't have the mental advantage like on the paper. They don't really have the gold advantage, but they can still make a good thing out of it. We have an ambush going from the for the red team. I don't know.
There is no ambush. There is no ambush. Have a minute and take a minute. Look at the vision coming out of red side. I want to be on the blue team and spam that we need vision, we need vision. Like look at the red team. They can't ambush anything. Red team knows where they are at all times.
Yeah, but the red team was about to do an ambush. Now they decided just to go back, but there's a scout camp, so they know where they are. They're going to take the blue Muffin said, but the blue team is taking the Ghost Wing. I'm pretty sure they know it, and they are just going for the Black Claw at the moment. So we have blue team going for the Ghost Wing, red team going for the Black Claw. I don't really know who's gonna benefit from this the most, because either team has to fight. Like, as soon as they take the 2 dragons, they're going to have to fight. And they both got their own dragon, and they're going to fight. So if the red team wins, they win the game. If the blue team wins, they can just stop the Black Claw, or straight up win the game because they have the minish. First fight goes out, Gauntlet from Arden. Already eaten somebody, Gramcho taken down. Stun from the Gauntlet, Big Bang takes the ultimate.
Okay.
Great damage from Baron already, but one Baron is already down at the moment. We have Rico, the great positioning behind the team fight. Dragon's Breath taking down Finn and almost taking down Ricardo. Ricardo has to use Flask, goes onto the Big Bad Vamp and manages to position greatly, almost taking down everybody. Ricardo is going to take down everybody, maybe not, because Gwen is doing so much damage. Gwen is trying to chase him down. Ricardo goes down to Sasuke, and at this point in time, considering the Gwen, considering the Lyra, who can just provide sustain, and the Catherine, who's going to do nothing at the moment. Okay, they can just take down the Vein Crystal pretty safely, I would say.
Yeah,
20 seconds on Baron.
Game. That that Baron that Baron just now was the worst thing he could have ever done. He jumped into the enemy team and he just stood there and got obliterated. I don't understand what that was. Did you see it?
I did see, like, he started out pretty well, doing a few auto attacks, doing the splash damage. They were all clumped up together, so it was a great damage. Then I think he either thought he was unkillable or he was going to kill everybody in one blow.
Baron unkillable.
Everybody has his own thoughts, so he might have thought he was unkillable. And, like, he just jumped in and got obliterated. And then Idris Ricardo did a great play, just positioning himself from one side of the fight to the opposite side of the fight, taking down Big Bad Vamp. But unfortunately, Gwen was there, was full health, and was full damage, so she just took him down without a big problem.